Welcome to Imperialism and the Fringe. This show focuses on three main areas of content in digestible 20-minute to 1-hour intervals. The first pillar of the show will be about American interventionism and economic colonialism worldwide. The United States has taken definitive measures time and time again to systematically undermine democracies internationally. They've done so to perpetuate anti-communist ideologies seen around the world, often leading to right-wing military dictatorships and unbelievable losses of life in the affected countries. I encourage everyone to take the time to learn about these places and how the actions taken by the United States has crippled them for generations. The first episode is about the Guatemalan election of 1954. Not only did the CIA's Operation Peavey success protect the United Fruit Company's interests, but it also completely self-admittedly destabilized a country that was on the cusp of real democracy. What resulted was the installation of exiled revolutionary Carlos Castillo Armas, who was still on the CIA's payroll the entire time, and a campaign of anti-communist infrastructure that would eventually lead to a 36-year civil war between U.S.-backed military of Guatemala and leftist guerrilla groups throughout the region. I will let you guess who committed most of the atrocities in this conflict. Stay tuned for a more in-depth story. The second pillar of the show will be about niche hobbies and interests on the fringes of society or their respective realms of expertise. I love witnessing people who have been obsessed with a certain thing that drives them in life. I especially like when those ideas are something I've never heard of before or even have distinct cultural significance. I'll be diving into these sorts of communities, navigating their intricacies for my own selfish enjoyment, and I hope you find some inspiration along the way. The second episode will be about competitive frog jumping at the Calaveras County Fair, a tradition inspired by Mark Twain and a famous story of a jumping frog. The jockey puts a frog down in a designated location and makes it jump 3 times in any direction. Stay tuned for episode 2 and to see why 40,000 people return each year to watch a froggy tradition of almost 100 years now. The third pillar, finally, I think it sucks that there's not much of a platform or content in terms of students graduating and not having much of a plan. Everything I see on TV is about high schoolers or some other group, and I would love to ramble or host other people that are unemployed or that life threw massive curveballs at. I thought I had a plan, and most of it went to the wayside recently. Talking to others might help. I was recently diagnosed with hip dysplasia. I've been mourning this older version of myself that was shredding and exercising all the time. But as the recovery progresses, I'm going to keep pushing to try new things and work on the show. If this seems interesting to you, please follow, send it to a friend, and give it a good review on wherever you get your podcasts. And something that'll set the show apart each week is that I will talk about who should sponsor me. And so I'm going to shout out GoPro. GoPro should sponsor me. And I will also talk about a slice of life, a story, or something I enjoy. And for this week, it is a nice drinking vessel to have your coffee in the morning. That's one of the beauties of life. This outro music by Alex Green. Please enjoy. I have his information in the description of the show. Thank you for supporting me.